All right. Hello, and welcome to the League of Extraordinary Fangirls. This me, Meow Yen, and we have a special guest today. She is the editor of the blog Tech Mom Life, and she is a former musician, singer, and she used to play instrument. Um, Kaya. So, Kaya, please introduce yourself. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kaya. I am the blog owner of Tech Mom Life. I am in IT music. I have played the flute, the piano. I did a lot of singing. I even sung on the Apollo stage in New York. As well as I just love all types of genres where it comes to jazz, marching bands, Christian hip hop, like all types of different genres, pop, you know, anything like that. So thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We always like to have fellow fangirls on the show, especially when we can fan girl together and geek out about things that we love. So, what are some of your favorite artists? What really got you into music?
Well, my dad, of course, is Jamaican, and he liked to listen to a lot of Buju Banton, Bob Marley. And then of course, like the old Temptations. So we had like a lot of different types of music, culturally as well as American music in the house. But my dad also loved to sing, and he started me off with piano, and then I started listening to Bobby Humphrey, which is a Harlem flautist, and I began playing the flute. So I played that for many years, from middle school to high school, and every once in a while I dust it off and play a little bit. But one thing I was really passionate about was singing. I really loved to just sing, whether it was gospel, R&B, escape, Whitney Houston. Like Whitney Houston was my thing. Monica was my thing. So I was so grateful to have those opportunities to go and sing on stages. I've won talent shows. So it was a really good feeling for somebody to hear me sing and they feel something from it. So it was always really good.
Awesome. So, all right. So, what is your opinion? Like me, as you already know, like I love a lot of different genres of music. And what is your opinion on like the music that we have today, like today's music atmosphere? Because me, I listen still to a lot of things from the hello. We just have LGZ joining the show. LGZ, we also have Kaya here on the show. Say hello.
Hello.
All right. But so as I was saying, I listen to a lot of different genres, but I am still stuck in the late 90s and early 2000s. So yeah, for me with the new music, if I don't hear it on TV or when I'm riding in the car with my boyfriend, then I don't really know. So, what do you feel about the new music of today?
So I have a love-hate relationship with it because I grew up in kind of the 90s where hip hop was really booming. And I remember having a conversation with my niece, who is 13 now. She'll be 14 soon. And she basically was, we were in the car and I was saying, oh yeah, I remember my first concert. It was the Rough Riders and Hard Knock Life Tour, Jay-Z, the Locks. And she just looked at me. She's like, who are those people? I said, you've never heard of Rough Riders? You've never heard of Flip Mode Squad? She's like, she looked at me as if I had five heads and I totally almost lost it. So I am, as far as when it comes down to the old school 90s, yes, I'm about that. But
Yeah.
transitioning into now in the 2016 era, I think as far as hip hop, it's not as good as it used to be. There are some artists that have been coming out, like Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm.
And then there's Chance the Rapper, which my niece had introduced me to. She said if I didn't like most of the music, then Chance the Rapper was probably the best. So when I sat down and listened to what I thought was his first album, which was it was mostly like the horns, and then they had some rappers come in. There was Busta Rhymes on there, Chance the Rapper, and like a whole slew of different people. And he was supporting his friend who was a musician that played the trumpet. And so that wasn't his first album. That was the first album he was featured on, but that wasn't his first album. So when I listened to his actual album, I was blown away by his message, by his flow, like his lyrical content, because I'm a big fan of stories. So for instance, like I like Drake because he tells a story. Like he makes you want to, I'm sorry, but he makes you kind of want to cry for him a little bit, because every now and then, like he's talking about some girl he lost and didn't do right, and you'd be like, dang, like that's messed up. Like I'm a person who loves the story of the music versus somebody just saying, oh, just shake your behind, or I just killed that dude this day, and it's just like, what does that mean? So as far as today's music, is when I find more artists that actually have lyrical content to say, that songs that have meaning and purpose, that can actually touch my spirit and my heart and make me think, then those are the ones I'm drawn to more as far as newer music. But I still can wild out with my old music too, and some new music I can wild out to too, if the tune is right. So
there's always Drake. There's always Drake.
There's always Drake. I remember Jimmy. I remember Jimmy when he was in the wheelchair. Yes.
Yes, he was on Degrassi. I always will see him as Jimmy from Degrassi. Well, on that, like I have heard Chance the Rapper, and I do like him and the content, Kendrick Lamar, and then you have I like J. Cole. A lot of people don't. When you talk about stories, so one genre of music that always has stories. Oh, and wait a minute, we have a comment from the chat, which is Shinakuma76, says new music is terrible, 80s and 90s all day. So he's with you on the. He's with you. You have a fan there.
You gotta find the hopeful people. That say everybody. It's like saying there's everybody's bad. There's always that hopeful. There's a couple of bunches. So.
Well, I will honestly say somebody who I just recently started listening to, who I never thought that I would listen to, want to buy an album, want to bump their music, is Nick Jonah.
Yeah.
Nick Jonah has some good music. I was like, my word, this young man has talent. So it was really I'm really getting back into it. But to switch gears a little bit, still talking about music, but show tunes. I love me some show tunes. I love listening to scores of from TV, movies. I love it. And the last soundtrack I actually picked up was from the show Stranger Things. Have you got a chance to see that show yet from Netflix?
No, it's on my many list of things to watch on Netflix.
It is a really good show, and then on top of that, it has like this 80s vibe to it, and it has the electronic music, which I love, because I love me some instrumentals. Like, I like when I can find a song that has good lyrics and all that kind of stuff, but I love me some instrumentals. So I actually got that album, and just the opening song is, I was just like, I'm gonna buy the whole album. And it was $9 on iTunes, and it has like 30 something tracks to it. So I was like,
wow,
that's a lot of music. I haven't gotten through all of them yet, because they have the solemn songs that when you'll see the show you'll know it too. But they literally put every song that was on the show in that album. I was just like, okay, right on. So what are there any show tunes that you really like? Any show that you can think of that really just has a great tune to it, and every time you hear it, you just you're right there with it.
This is gonna sound weird, but it's going to be Family Guy. Only because Seth MacFarlane is a genius when it comes to that. He has made albums actually, and people don't realize that he has a really good voice, and he likes that kind of thing, like the show tune stuff. So that's why I recently started watching Blunt Talk with Patrick Stewart, and it shows on Stars. And one of the episodes had Patrick Stewart doing this number of a show tune with dancers and everything like that. And it's very odd because Patrick Stewart is a theologian. So when he kind of does that, it makes it a little quirky, but it still comes out really good. So I kind of like those kind of quirky show tunes. So even thinking back to my childhood, like watching Animaniacs when they used to sing the different songs and sing all the when they would sing what was it, the capitals of the states and stuff like that. So some of those tunes where you just need to hear. So those type of show tunes, I like the quirky ones, but you still get to have fun.
Right. So from the chat, we have Shinakuma saying that The Matrix had a good score, which that was actually The Matrix did have a good score. I do have that one. I have that album as well. He also agrees with, he says, Patrick Stewart is a national treasure.
Yes, he is. Blunt Talk is a very good show. I'm very much waiting for season 2.
Right. I need to check it out because one, I love me some Patrick Stewart, and I didn't know he had a show, so I'm behind, and I feel like,
just brace yourself. If you're starting off in the first season, just brace yourself for the first 3 minutes, because I literally was watching it while I was at work, and and hey, I was multitasking. To be honest with you, I was multitasking, yes. And the first 3 minutes had me dying laughing. I literally, my poor office mates thought something was wrong. So yes, it is. Be careful watching a show, because you will have moments where if you were watching this not in a place you should be laughing, you might have a problem. So yeah.
All right. Well, we have LGC with us. Hi. How are you today, lady?
Hey, sorry for my late getting here, but yeah, you know what? The Matrix score is awesome. The actual soundtrack to The Matrix is also awesome for all 3 movies. So I would definitely agree with that. Blunt Talk is my show. That is a great show. Blunt Talk is a great show.
I'm the only one that's out the loop. I need to think.
Don't feel bad. I just got started on it. So it's not like, I've known about this all my life. It's just, It just got started.
Yeah. Right. And I do like some of the Family Guy show tunes that they do on there. That's pretty cool as well.
Yes. And whenever Seth MacFarlane comes to your town, you should check that out. Like, that is definitely a good, it's good for your money, because you pay like $30, or at least when he was in my area, he paid $30. You get orchestras, Seth MacFarlane singing, some other people, he's doing comedy bits. So it's pretty much a full-on show.
That sounds like an experience.
I'll have to definitely do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is some of your favorite music? And tell us your taste in music.
Trump. Okay, so I was listening to you guys talk about rap earlier. I grew up in the 80s. I love the 80s, but the music now in 2016, I totally hate. There are some somebody mentioned Kendrick Lamar. He's awesome. There are a couple others. I haven't started listening to Chance the Rapper yet, but I'm going to get to that because I keep hearing good things. I just haven't done it yet. I watched his So Gone challenge, and I just wasn't impressed by that. But everybody says he's really good, right? So I'm kind of on the fence with that. But I like trap, and so I love trap music, all kinds of trap music. And I went to Costa Rica in June and met some guys from France there, and then they introduced me to some French trap music, which was awesome. It was awesome. I can't say how awesome it was, right? So then I started looking, after I found those guys, and I started looking into other stuff, some Korean trap music, Japanese trap music, some trap music some more French trap music, and I just kind of been German trap music. Like I've been going all over the globe looking for international trap music, basically. So
Well,
I love trap right now.
so for some of our viewers who don't know, and for our fellow fangirl who couldn't be with us today, Nanette, what is trap music? Can you explain to us like what trap music is and like its origin? Like what is it?
So trap music, as I've come to learn from it, is kind of like, you know, when like D-boys in the cut at the dope house, you know, this is the music that they bang out to or whatever. And it's just, I mean, if you guys don't know this lingo, I'm sorry, just like drug dealers, guys that are, you
Urban
know, at the,
Dictionary. Write it down, people. Urban Dictionary, and just write the terms down and plug it in.
yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, the D-boys are at the dope house and they're like listening to the music. You know, it's like the trap music. It's got a lot of bass. It's got, you know, crazy lyrics. It's just like all over the place, but it sounds really good. I am a beat freak, you know, saying so. I mean, I love, you know, you hear trap music, you know, all kind of. It's like I love it. So I guess some trap, like Waka Flocka, you know, I would probably consider trap, or Waka Flocka, Gucci Man, Shorty Low, R.I.P. Shorty Low. He just died like 2 days ago or yesterday. You know, R.I.P. Shorty Low. I would consider that trap. I would consider like some of the stuff that Trick Daddy does as trap. You know, the down south stuff here that we do in Texas is, I would consider a lot of that trap, like, you know, Pow Wow, or Slim Thug, or, you know, saying like that. That's like the trap music, the big beat, the bass, the crazy lyrics. You know, it's all about it's not so much about, for me, it's not so much about lyricism as it is more about just the beat and, you know, just headbanging and, you know, you partying, you wilding out. It's like, it's everything. I love it. So me finding international trap music was like a bonus, right? So, I mean, and even like one of the artists I found named Keith Ape, I think they're out of Korea. They have a song called It G Ma, right? And they already got a remix with like ASAP Ferg and some other people. I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, but it's like when you listen and you just like, you know, when you, I don't know, it's crazy. I love it.
That's awesome. One, that you could find international trap music, because I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either
awesome.
Until I went to Costa Rica. Yeah, I didn't even know that either until I went to Costa Rica. And then they were like, oh yeah, it was like these guys, they barely spoke English. And they were like, what kind of music? Because I was playing music, and I was like, I like trap music. They were like, oh, you got to check out these guys in France. I was like, what? Man,
wow.
Please, that was over. It was good. I was gonna say I wish I could post the links, but in the chat room. But oh my gosh,
we can post them later so people will have access to them on the Culture Junkies page, because I think this is something that should spread. Spread music. Music is the international language.
Yes.
So okay, we mentioned some trap music. We mentioned a couple show tunes. With that, I'm going to ask you ladies, because both of you, from my understanding, like anime. Is there an anime that you absolutely love the music for? Go.
Okay, so anime. So Inuyasha, I forgot. I think it was like season 4, and they had like the ending credit song. When I heard that, I downloaded. I was jamming that for like almost half a year. It was ridiculous. And then like also like Cowboy Bebop, the music from Cowboy Bebop. They have a lot of good stuff. So I mean, it's just, I mean, I listen, like if I hear something snazzy, I mean, like Death Note is like one of my favorite animes, but I didn't think they had like really great music in that. But I mean, like you have something like what's the name of that show? Okay, I have to think because it's in my mind, but I have to think about it. But I mean, there's a lot of, you know, stuff that I like. Like I said, Cowboy Bebop, Inuyasha, the ones that are coming to the forefront of my mind. There's another show that had a good one, but I just can't remember the name of the show. It was such a good opening song.
Think about it. What do you think, Kay? Or Kaya, I'm sorry. Which one do you
well,
like?
for me, I know that like it's some people disagree that this may be anime, but I know for sure it's anime. Is Samurai Jack. That one was that had really good soundtrack. Another one is it only had one season, but it's supposed to be the oh gosh, the life of the unknown or something like that. I can't remember, but it's basically this anime that was based off this girl that found out that she was betrothed to this guy. Oh, engaged to the unknown. Yes. Yeah, so she had to be betrothed to this guy that is basically like an unknown wolf type. He doesn't really speak, and he's very like kind of reserved and quiet. So they're like following their relationship was hilarious in a sense because it's more of a comedy show. And I liked how they had like the upbeat tune, the normal Japanese like fast songs, and then they also had some of the slow vibrato type songs. So you know, it was really cool, like listening to the songs that they had on there.
Okay, that's pretty. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to get that from you and watch that.
Engaged to the unidentified. That's what it is. Engaged to the unidentified.
All right, so I'm gonna check that one out. But I am with Elle because my favorite anime is Cowboy Bebop, and I love the opening track, Tank. I love it. I have it on my iPod. I love the music. There's another song that I don't remember which episode. I want to say it's the episode for Sympathy for the Devil, that one. But it's not only do they actually play that song in the movie, it's a song called Rain, and it has it's organs in it, and it's like, it sounds like it's going to be a hymn, but then it's not, but then it's just awesome. So I love the music from Cowboy Bebop. I love the music from Inuyasha, even though it's one of the opening songs I just couldn't stand. I don't remember which one it is. The music from Trigun, the music from Bleach, I just love them. And then one of my new obsessions is Teeters, if you want to call it anime because it's American, whatever. Everybody has an opinion about that, but the show Ruby, I love the opening song for that, and it's like this rock song, and I just love it, and it sounds like a punk girl band. It's the kind of feel that it has, and I love it. It's a really good song. So if you haven't seen the anime, then yes, you should definitely check that out. So from the chat, we have Akira. They said that one was a great score. I haven't seen Akira in years. Oh my goodness. And Samurai Champloo.
I actually remember, I think that's not the one I was thinking of, but that does have some good music on it. Samurai Champloo does have some good music on it.
Yes.
I know Sailor Moon or at least Sailor Moon Crystal has better scores for when they do the battles than they did when it was just regular Sailor Moon. So I've been enjoying that.
So okay. Have they upgraded the music or upgraded?
Yes, they definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, they updated. They had come whole new scores for that, and so like listening to a lot of the great battle music that they have has always been good. And then their opening credit as well as their ending credits they've been pretty good too.
I don't watch Sailor Moon, so I couldn't tell you anything about Sailor Moon. I tried to watch it. It's not that ponytail is doing me so much.
It's like from my childhood, like growing up. So when they came out with the newer episodes that are more based off the manga, I remember the night that, like, I think it was available online to stream at like 5 a.m. and I set my alarm like 4:30, like all ready to go, and I slept through my alarm. But luckily, like you can, it wasn't like they were live streaming it, like you could just start playing it. So I remember I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I missed it. And I'm like in my covers wrapped around, and my screen and my computer is like right in my face. And my husband walks by and he's like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was like, Sailor Moon! So like they played the music in the opening credits, and it sounded so much better. It wasn't as like kiddish as they did in the earlier years, but it definitely was a lot better. Like it's definitely calm. They did a good job.
Okay, all right. So Elle, did you figure out the one that you were marinating on?
No, I can't think of it.
It looks like it's killing you. It looks like it's
because
killing
it is, because I can see the image of the show in my head, but I just can't think of the name. It was a guy with glasses. There was another guy, and there was a chick, and they were like kind of going from city to city, fighting and fighting people. But I just cannot remember the name of that freaking show. I cannot think of it for the life of me.
Wow.
I'm stressing about it.
Hopefully it comes to you. Hopefully it comes. Don't stress out too much. But all right. So since we're talking about shows and we talked about our favorite music and all this kind of stuff, we have a show that's coming out next week that I am so excited for. The music that's going to be in it, the show itself. And we saw this man in the show Jessica Jones. And one, I got to give a shout out to Jessica Jones because they got an Emmy for their for best original theme song, because the theme song is really good, and it's really good theme song. But Luke Cage starts next week, and they are I saw a video, and if you guys haven't seen this video, it's with Method Man and Nas, and it was like, I'm sorry, I saw Method Man and I was like, yes, tell me more. So
you see the W, right?
Yes. So are you guys looking forward to that and just the different music on it? Just because there's so many hip hop artists that are going to be involved in the music. And what do you guys think about just like how so many artists, so like how Nas and Jay-Z and oh my gosh, I can't even think of his name. The RZA, like they are involved in actually scoring movies and TV shows. Like, what do you guys think about the hip hop being in? And Jay-Z, he did The Great Gatsby. Like, how do you guys feel about
that? I'm not a fan of that. I was not a fan of Jay-Z and The Great Gatsby.
I hate the book Great Gatsby, but the movie actually, I like how he did it. So, but continue. Like, what do you guys think about like these two worlds kind of colliding and meshing together?
I think, in my opinion, it's very, very beneficial actually, because you still have like kind of the old school 90s, 80s people bringing it so that they can kind of have an input and make music better. So like one show I like watching is Power, and of course 50 Cent is behind Power, so a lot of music that comes out of that has been like really, really good. And then there's of course Timberland is with Empire. RZA did the Get Down, and somebody else did something, and I can't think of.
The RZA has had his fingers in a lot of
stuff. Just everywhere.
Yes,
that man when he works himself all of it, just everything.
But when he worked on Kill Bill with Quentin Tarantino, I was like, oh, one of my favorite directors and one of my favorite musicians. What? How can I hate this? Like, I can't. So,
no way.
What do you think, Al?
Special.
I was just gonna say, like, I love like the Wu-Tang and everything, and I know this is gonna be like, they said Luke Cage was gonna be heavy Wu-Tang, so I'm like super excited. The RZA did Afro Samurai, which is another great anime. It's a little series, but it was very short-lived, but it was awesome even still. But he did Afro Samurai. He did The Man with the Iron Fist, both of those. I mean, that, like, he's been doing music for a long time. So, I mean, like, the RZA has been, like, he's been doing some good music. And I don't know, like, the Afro Samurai soundtrack is on part. It's a part of it's on my playlist because it's got some good tracks on there. So I'm actually excited to see with Luke Cage, and like I'm so excited that Luke Cage is coming. I hate that they made it wait so long, because like I watched Jessica Jones like a year and a half ago, and I've been like waiting for Luke Cage to come out ever since then, and it's just like I was just like mad because it hadn't come out yet, but now I'm so excited that it's coming out. And I didn't even know Jessica Jones when they won an Emmy.
Yeah, they won an Emmy for Best Original Theme Song.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep that to myself. I know I like the show.
No,
I just,
let us know.
I like the show, but I mean, Emmy, that's a bit much. Okay, but
You're good. I mean, when you're good, you're good.
no,
Well,
I
I mean,
mean,
but it was for the music. It wasn't for like the show's content or anything like that.
yeah,
So.
but that opening song, but okay. I mean, I'm like I said, back to Luke Cage. I'm super excited. I'm like extremely excited. I cannot wait. I think I'm gonna stay up for like a whole day, whatever, trying to listen to and watch all the episodes and all that. Like I'm so hyped. I'm ready. So hyped.
Yeah. So from the chat, MK Pryor says that each song and excuse me, each song is going to be named after a hip hop song, or each episode of Luke Cage is going to be named after a hip hop song, which I think that is pretty cool. Like, yeah, like they're giving so much to us. It's just beautiful. I love it. So I'm trying to see one more thing from the chat. Shanakuma says, just keep the RZA from acting and we're good. So my man can't act. He can't, we can't throw him any roles.
That is so funny. That is actually very funny.
That's so rude. No, but it's true. Like, he does well on the music part.
Just a little bit.
That's funny.
He's musically blessed. Yeah.
Everybody can't do everything. Okay,
I'm just waiting for DMX to get a show because that was my old time favorite. That's my old time favorite.
I love DMX, but DMX.
That's my old time favorite. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know, but
hey, at least somebody. Swiss Beats. We'll make it Swiss Beats if it's not DMX. Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys.
I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
No.
Okay. I mean, Alicia, I don't know what Alicia up to these days. Like,
she ain't wearing makeup. That's all you need to know.
Well, I mean, I know that, but I don't know what she up to musically.
I don't think she's doing anything musically, to be honest with you. I haven't heard anything from her in a while.
She's on The Voice now. I did see a commercial for that the other day.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me roll my eyes hard.
So basically when that show ends, she's going to have the album out. That's basically normally how it goes. You finish a year season of The Voice, then you have an album that comes out. So, we shall see.
Well, I don't think she's, you know what, to be honest with you, ever since she did that her first album, I don't think any of her albums have stacked up to that first album.
Interesting.
I'm not sure actually. Like I like a lot of her music, and
her last album to me wasn't as good as I thought it could be. But I know that if any of you guys that have children, if you have like babies, infants, and you can't get them to stop crying, put the first 3 albums of Alicia Keys on rotate and they will go to sleep. For some reason, it's something about the piano and her voice. Both my kids did it. It stopped kids from colic. Like it's a genius. Like I don't know, Alicia Keys need to be the baby whisperer at this point. Yeah. But I know that her first album, especially that piano, man, like she was so in tune with that. And but again, if you talk to her first album, of course, with a lot of artists, they always say that's not my best album, or that was more people involved, that wasn't really me, that type of thing. But musically, especially Fingers to the Keys, that was her. And so I really liked her first album. And her second.
I like the first album. I think she's had some cool songs on the other albums, like a couple songs here and couple songs there, but as far as like a solid album, a solid performance album, the first one is, I think, it would be the best one.
Oh, her live album was pretty good. I like that one.
I don't really like too many live albums, only because it's just like, when I hear a song, because I've been to I go to a lot of concerts, right? So if I go to a concert and you don't sound like the album that I fell in love with, I'm gonna have a problem. Like, I know that sounds real messed up as a fan, but I'm just like, literally, I like, there's this group that I went to. They had a song, and I still listen to their music because the music was so good. But when I saw them live, I was just thinking to myself, how much did they auto tune, and like,
Wow.
how much did they level y'all voices out? Because if y'all can't sing in the same harmonious rhythm live that y'all did on your album, that means that it was something real wrong, and they had to do a lot of remixing in the studio. But I was just like, when I saw that live performance, I was just like discouraged, and I was like, do I even listen to these chicks anymore? Like, I was legit like, do I even want to do it? But again, the album that I love, I love it, it's great, but I'm just saying, like, hearing them live, I was just like, it was like some dogs yelping, girl. It was like real bad. And I was just like, it like totally like off key and everything. And I'm just thinking to myself, and it wasn't just one. So I went to that concert and I saw that, and I was like, I said, no, this can't be right. So then I went on YouTube and tried to find live performances, and they did the same thing in the different performances. It just it really hurt me to my heart. I cried.
That's horrible.
Well, there's not always bad ones. So from the chat, we have MK Pryor says that Jay-Z MTV Unplugged live album was great. And we also have Rogue that says The Roots was great. I love me some Roots, so I can definitely see that they're the same. They're good. And
they are so good.
They're on. Aren't they on one of the live shows? Well, it might just be
Jimmy Fallon.
There we go. Because that would be the only reason that I watched that show. Because I can't stand Jimmy Fallon. But so we have some back and forth. That some live performances can live up to the album. I would have to disagree with the Jay-Z. If that is the Jay-Z Unplugged, is that the one that they did with Linkin Park?
No, I think that's the one he did where he was on MTV stage. I think it came out of MTV when they started doing like the whole Unplugged Sarah. So I think Alicia Keys did Unplugged, right. Jay-Z did Unplugged, and somebody else did Unplugged.
Oh, it was with the Roots. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. As long as we're talking about that one, because Jay-Z with Linkin Park, I did not like that at all. I was like, what are you guys doing?
It was an interesting crossover.
It was a terrible crossover.
I'll just leave the word interesting out there and let everybody else fill in other adjectives. And
you're nicer than I am. But we're not here to talk about my distaste. We're here to talk about beautiful music. So, moving on from that. What else do we have? What are you guys currently listening to? Like, what is on your iPod or like bumping in the car? What is like something that you love right now? We're gonna start with you, Kaya.
So I work out every morning, and I actually put my Napster on Lecrae radio. And for those of you that don't know, Lecrae is a hip hop Christian artist. He is one of the few that has kind of moseyed himself into the likes of being known by Kendrick Lamar and things like that. But there's other artists that are part of his 116 group, KB, Andy, oh gosh, he says it in his song so many times, Andy Mineo. So they have like these upbeat Christian hip hop, and you're just like in there, yes, I'm working out for the Lord. Yes, I'm getting these abs for the Lord. And so that's kind of like constantly on my rotation. And so I was actually playing a song for my husband earlier today by KD1 that talks about basically kind of the injustice of what Black people are going through and stuff. And it was very inspiring and good to listen to, especially at the cool down portion. But I also have rocking on my iPod some 90s R&B to get the Escape, the Drew Hill, the Jodeci. So that's always in flavor. And then when it comes to my pop, I have to do a little Taylor Swift, a little Justin Bieber. Those are just my pop go-tos.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to kick you off of the show now for even mentioning T Swift. So
I'm sorry.
It was nice having you. No, I'm just kidding. Continue.
But yeah, I mean, those are my I guess bad passions, I guess to say. And then every once in a while I'll get like a Rihanna in there, or what else? Some Tamala Man or something, get some real gospel going, you know. So for me, that's what's kind of been going on in my rotation, stuff that helps my spirit. So, you know, normally I listen to an album whenever I get a massage. So that way I can listen to the album. So whenever a new artist comes out, that just goes on my thing. So I don't get a massage until next month. So that's going to be my next album listening session.
So we have some critics in the chat. Shinakuma says, how do you go from Christian music to Drew Hill and Jodeci?
So, okay. Because I grew up in the 90s, right? My first concert, let me tell you, was Drew Hill. Because I don't know what's going on these days.
You know, Drew Hill.
However, because of the fact that the R&B that I listen to is not the one that's like over sexualized. It's the one that's talking about making love, not knocking boots. Because of the fact that I'm in a happy marriage, I can listen to that and feel good, and they go do the things they say in the music because of the fact.
Okay, this is a family show. This is a family show.
But nonetheless, like, that's how I can go through the things, because it's not bad for me to listen to those things. I'm allowed to experience whatever is going on in the world, and a lot of my music is edited. To be fair, so even when I listen to like albums, I do get the edited version. It's just better for me. It's just in case like I have something and my kids come in and I don't want them talking the same way. So that's how I go from either or.
Okay. So what about you, LGZ? Like, what is on your rotation right now?
So right now I was pulling this up. These are my current playlists. First one starts with hood music. I don't know if it's backwards or if you guys can see it.
It's a little blurred out.
Okay, so I got hood music, which is like all the trap stuff. I got old school R&B, which is like all the 70s and 80s, like pop music from like, you know, all Black people that I could ever find, all the pop from back in the 80s. I have a salsa list because, you know, I'm Spanish. I have a workout list because I do work out. I have a dance mix that I have for my kids. I got a soft rock list, which is like all of the elevator music from the 60s and 70s. And then I got a rockin' out list because I love rock music is my first love. So that's basically all that I listen to, those few playlists. That's it. And then like, you know, but again, a lot of this stuff is like way old, you know, from, you know, on the hood music. I mean, I got like Future and Lil Wayne and, you know, what's the name, Yo Gotti and Ace Hood. And then like on the old school, I might have like some Keith Sweat, or actually it's got like Curtis Mayfield, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Jackson 5, like T.S. Monk, like some old school there. On my salsa, you know, Gilberto Santa Rosa, DLG, you know, Puerto Rican powered stuff like that. I mean, but these like even my salsa list is like from like 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Like I don't usually go past like 2005, like way old. So a lot of my music is, so when I hear this, my coworker, she always tells me if I hear something like today that I like Kendrick Lamar, she's like, oh my God, I'm so shocked that you listen to something in this time frame. I was just like,
in this decade.
yeah. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like all this stuff. I got like a junior, senior on my kids list with like Outkast or Pharrell, you know, and Wham, you know, they like, so I'm trying to introduce them to like old school stuff too. So, I mean, like I got like Chic and, you know, Katrina and the Waves, you know, stuff that you can dance to, but like, you know, kind of old school stuff to kind of get them. I mean, I don't have any TS on my list or Bieber, but, you know, and that's fine. I mean,
we forgive her for that. We forgive her this time.
And on the soft rock list, I got like, you know, America, Toto, the Eagles, you know, Tom Scott, Fleetwood Mac, stuff like that. That's just stuff that I like listening to when I'm riding to work. And then on my rocking out list, I got Queen, Jimi Hendrix, Rush, Guns N' Roses, Nine Inch Nails, who I love, Radiohead.
You said the magic word, 9 Inch Nails. I love me some 9 Inch Nails, but we'll get to me in a minute. You go on. Let me not interrupt you.
Have you seen 9 Inch Nails live?
Yes.
Best thing ever. Soundgarden, you know, saying Nirvana, Queens of the Stone Age, stuff like that. I even got some Hole on there, which is pretty cool too. So, yeah, I mean, I just listen to it like I'm like a bunch of different stuff. I even have a country list that I listen to every once in a while and a reggae list, but I don't listen to them as much as I listen to those lists I just told you. So I try to keep it interesting. And I mean, like literally it can change from 1 minute to the next how I'm feeling as far as what I want to listen to. Because somebody can come to me and say something crazy, and then I kind of go into, you know, rock mode where it's like, you know, that kind of thing, death metal, and you know, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with death metal, so it works out. Then they're like, hey, you getting some money, and then I switch it over to the other stuff, you know, just whatever.
Well, yeah, well, okay, so I have a really mixed list as well. I actually don't even make playlists anymore. I just let my stuff just run. So I use my iTunes, and then I also use Napster. And I have right now that I've listened to today alone, I listened to Our Lady Peace from the Forcible Entry WWE or WWF album. Okay, I tell you, I like stuff from TV. Cisco, You Are Everything, Groove Armada. I have the Suicide Squad album, so Heathens from 21 Pilots, and also Bohemian Rhapsody. Now let me tell you about that from Panic at the Disco. They did a great cover. That is one of the best covers of like an old song that I have heard in a long time. It's amazing. Like, especially when they get to the instruments, it just woo! So, and then I have nothing but after that, it's 9 Inch Nails, Wu-Tang, System of a Down, Korn, the Kill Bill soundtrack, the Cardigans, and then a lot of Massive Attack, which I love Massive Attack. They do the theme song for the show Luther, and they also did the theme song from House, Teardrop. I love that. I love them. They're a trip hop band, and trip hop originated in Bristol, England, and I just love that music. It's kind of ambient mixed with a little bit of like R&B, jazz kind of beats, electronic. I love it. It keeps me calm. I drive to it. I listen to it in the shower. Like that's what I'm doing right now. Like so let me go back to the chat. We have MK Pryor. He said Usher grew on me. Dug his first album until Confessions. I Yeah, Usher grew on me too because I was not always a fan of Usher. What about you guys? Do you guys like Usher? Like, since it was brought up in the chat, like,
I
I
like some
just,
of his. I like a couple of his newer, like the newer stuff he's doing, because it's a little bit more grown and sexy, and it's a little bit more, you know. But when he was like 13 doing a record, no, I wasn't into that.
You went down with the USHERRAIM. Oh, baby, baby, what you want to do me? Yes.
oh, God.
Yeah, I like Usher. I was a little. I have to admit, I had to listen to the song "Good Kisser" a couple of times to really actually figure out what he was talking about.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah, but other than that, yeah, he's doing his thing. So big up stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah, his new stuff, you know, it's growing. And then we have Outkast mentioned in the chat. Of course, I heard you mention it as well. And uh
Speaker
LGZ.
Box and the Love Below. Oh my gosh.
That is one. That is like such a great album, and people were like crapping. They were crapping on the album so bad. And I was like,
Why?
why?
Why would you do that? Do you
So awesome.
understand how intelligent and blissfully wonderful those two albums were?
Yes,
Can,
yes,
I
yes,
don't even know
yes.
the caliber of music, just adjectives I could use to describe the awesomeness of those two albums.
Yes,
And then
yes,
they went
yes.
and made a movie and screwed it up. I don't know. I don't know.
You talking about Idlewild? Idlewild
Idlewild.
was not that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
I enjoyed
Look,
it. Okay, that doesn't mean it wasn't bad because I also enjoyed Catwoman, so I have to always come back to that. Yes,
Oh,
I enjoy
wait,
pretty
wait,
terrible
stop.
movies. We're not going to talk about that anymore. Act like I didn't even say it. We're going to continue like it was not even said.
Okay, so now the
yeah.
Taylor Swift comment doesn't seem as bad. It's okay, Kay. You
Thank
good,
you.
right?
Thank
Okay,
you. Thank you.
okay.
Oh my goodness.
Let's get back to Outkast. Aquemini.
Oh, yeah.
Aquemini is my favorite album from Outkast. I can listen to it from top to bottom, back and forth, shuffle. Love it. I love anything that has to do with Outkast, be it Big Boy or Andre 3000. Love it.
Yeah. I was still trying to convince my dad when he married to say the verse from Players Anthem for Andre 3000. He still wouldn't do it. But hey, I find Andre 3000 a very good lyricist. Like, awesome.
Yes.
Very awesome.
Yes. I'm getting some hate from the chat from MK Pryor. He said, it's too late. It's buried in all of everyone's soul now, so I can't take it back. So, Kaya, you're absolved of everything. Now I am the one who has brought the show down once again. I try to do it at least once a show, so I've done it.
Yes, no, yeah, Outkast is pretty awesome. Outkast, not the Aquemini was a good album. Like they've had, as far as like rap music goes or hip hop, I would say Outkast is one of those groups that has consistently, from the beginning of from when they started to the end, they have consistently had good albums with multiple songs that you can listen to, and that's really rare to find, especially now. I think the last album that I heard that was kind of up to that caliber was that the Kendrick Lamar album with um the one he put out with crappity crap, not the last one but the one before that.
With the one Poetic Justice song?
Poetic, no, not Poetic Justice, the one after that one.
After that one? Oh, the one,
King
is it
Kunta, the one with
I?
King Kunta. I don't remember, I don't know, but the one with King Kunta
I
on
don't know
there.
the name.
I don't remember the name of the album, but that was a great album.
Yeah.
I've seen Kendrick live. Like before he really blew up over here, I saw him at a music festival in the Netherlands, and he's a good artist. He's a good entertainer in general. So I give ups to Mr. Lamar.
To Pimp a Butterfly?
Yes, I was just gonna say yes. To Pimp a Butterfly. That is an album. I mean that you can start from the beginning and go from the beginning all the way to the end, and it's gonna be like awesome. You don't have to skip anything. Like it's a good album. I think Outkast has kind of been that was Outkast for me until I heard that album. Because Outkast, no matter what they put out, it sounds good.
It was before Outkast, it was Common's B. I love that album because it's just something that I can listen to from top to bottom, especially when he Faithful is like my favorite song on that album, where he's basically talking about, you know, being with that girl, and then of course the famous line, "What if God was a her?" I was like, oh yes, what if God was a her? But that album was always good, and what's it? Of course, back in the day for me, DMX, I can listen to it from top to bottom. And especially how like he takes you, like for me, he took you through the story of his life, of him sinning basically the whole time, and then at the end he asked for redemption, and it was awesome. His prayer, his song, like everything. So that's why I liked listening to DMX, because it was just this whole series of stories that he goes through, and then he asked for redemption at the end. So
I can agree with that. I used to love me some DMX, but for me, and it's an unpopular opinion I have. Here's today's unpopular opinion. I love Kanye. Kanye, for me, I loved his intro CD. It was not until Yeezus that I was just like, all right, I don't know what you're doing, son. But
oh my goodness.
When we got to Yeezus, then I was kind of like, this is a little different. I still like most of the album. It's like 3 songs I could never hear again and I'd be okay. But Kanye is a good artist. He's a good artist. So, yeah.
And that's it. Like, he's not a very good performer. I went to a concert and I was very disappointed in his behavior. Asking or at least he told 2 disabled people that they need to stand up or else they're going to be removed from their seats because they're in the front row, and only people that can move can be in the front row. So for me, that left it as I will never go to a Kanye West as far as, you know, his spending money on him. However, I will give him props to his musical talent. So
yeah.
So I like Kanye. You're right. I would agree. His first few albums, I'd say like the first 3 or 4 were pretty good. When we got the Yeezus, yes, there were some cuts that were on there, but I didn't think that was a great album. However, this Pablo album, I'm like, okay, Kanye. I like this album. I like The Life of Pablo. I don't even know why.
Not bad, but I know one thing, Tiana Taylor, you better get it, girl. Because you got too many people in the daggone gym now. I can't go into the gym and work out because too many people in it now. But you better go, Tiana Taylor.
That's where I'm going. Goals right there. Fitness goals, like all day.
I was already in the gym, enjoying my piece of nobody else being there. One stick goes out and does one video, and everybody in the gym now. And I hope they all fall off.
All right, ladies.
Falling off.
It is. Okay. All right. We were having an awesome conversation here, but it is 5 o'clock and we have reached our time. So I would like to thank you guys for joining us today in the chat, and these 2 beautiful ladies. Join us next week and we will be having another great discussion on What You Ask. Join us and find out. So also don't forget to tune in at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays for our flagship show, Culture Junkies Live. Kaya, is great having you on the show. Also, she has a blog. Check her out. It's Tech Mom Life. Very intelligent woman here, very talented. And also our new fangirl, LGZ. Ladies, please say goodnight.
Good night. Check me out at techmomlife.com.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
All right, guys. Have a good night and join us next week.